Non-Americans who visited the USA. What culture shock moment made you go, this is definitely America? I visited America from Ireland last summer, and let me tell you how I experienced peak America. It started when I ordered coffee at a cafe. I asked for a medium coffee, and the barista, Nina, stared at me like I'd spoken Klingon. We have tall, grande, or venti. When I pointed to the middle size, she cheerfully informed me that would be $5.75 for coffee. In a paper cup. I nearly fainted. When I mentioned the price, Nina laughed and said, wait till you need healthcare. Later that morning, I was on the subway when a complete stranger sat next to me and immediately asked what I did for a living, my thoughts on the local sports team, and if I'd found Jesus. In Ireland, we don't even make eye contact on public transport, let alone discuss religion with strangers. When I gave short answers hoping he'd stop, he handed me a business card for his combination tax preparation, spiritual counseling business. Then I went to a diner where my waitress, Sydney, introduced herself with jazz hands and told me her life story before I'd even opened the menu. When I ordered, she asked if I wanted soup or salad. I said salad, and she brought me a super salad, which was apparently a thing. When I explained the confusion, she laughed so hard she had to sit down in my booth for a full minute. At the table next to me, a man sent back his steak 3 times for not being cooked correctly. Each time, the manager apologized profusely like he'd personally insulted the man's ancestors. In Ireland, we'd eat a raw chicken before complaining. The afternoon brought me to a pharmacy where I discovered the wonder of American drug commercials on the store TV. A full 2-minute ad showed happy people frolicking in fields, while a speed reader listed side effects including sudden death and spontaneous lizard tongue syndrome. When I asked the pharmacist if people really request these medications, she rolled her eyes and said, every damn day, honey. But the most American experience happened that evening. I was invited to a casual dinner at an acquaintance's home. Just a simple cookout, Anthony had said. I arrived to find he'd closed off the entire street, set up 3 different grilling stations. Every guest brought enough food to feed a village. One woman apologized that her 7-layer dip was just something I threw together, despite it being arranged to look exactly like the American flag. Someone's grandma kept trying to set me up with her grandson because he's always wanted to visit Europe, as if Ireland were just a neighborhood in London. The highlight was when Anthony unveiled his special surprise, a professional fireworks display in his backyard. As actual explosives burst overhead, nobody seemed concerned about the legality or safety. When I nervously mentioned fire hazards, Anthony's wife patted my hand and said, it's fine, our lawyer is here, while pointing to a man doing flaming tequila shots. As I stood there watching a bald man in an Eagle t-shirt cry real tears while God Bless America played during the fireworks finale, I had my definitive This is America moment. Then Anthony's neighbor called the cops because the fireworks scared his emotional support peacock. When the police showed up, I panicked. In Ireland, this would end badly. But the officers just grabbed plates of food and watched the rest of the show. One even helped light the grand finale while still in uniform. I left at 2 a.m. with 14 containers of leftovers, 3 invitations to Thanksgiving from people I'd just met, and the business card of a cop who has a cousin in Dublin and offered me a place to stay anytime you're in the area. America, you beautiful, bizarre country. Never change.